Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allow me first of all to introduce myself. I'm Agung Sidayu, Chairman of Yayasan Pendidikan Indonesia, and I appreciate very much for the opportunity to present our first oral statement entitled The Disruption of Resilient and Innovative Effort for the Implementation of the 2030 Agenda, Lesson Learned from Al-Zaitun, Indonesia. Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, one of the main challenges in achieving the SDGs, is the stronger non-freedom of expression, economic inequality, conflict, disruption of resilience and innovation of private parties, discrimination based on differences of religious understanding, all really hindering the achievement of the 2030 Agenda. As we know, that the effort to achieve 2030 Agenda, which was launched by the United Nations in 2015, are not only the government, but also non-governmental organization responsibilities, and it should be hand in hand effectively. Yayasan Pendidikan Indonesia always submit a written statement about Al-Zaitun, Indonesia, because this private educational institution has made various efforts to achieve the agenda, even 15 years before the agenda itself was launched. In addition to making effort to prevent climate change continuously, Al-Zaitun also doing businesses such agribusinesses, industries, and blue economic businesses which generate profit to finance its formal education services, and is beneficial for the reducing poverty because all efforts are using participation action research and participation action program with local farmers and fishermen. Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, Al-Zaitun now experience a terrible problem with legal cases involving its Grand Chancellor, Professor Abdussalam Panji Gumilang MP, who was accused by blasphemy and was convicted of 12 months in prison, as well as being accused of money laundering and violating the foundation law. All these things happen start with jealousy for the success of Al-Zaitun and the communication gap between fellow Islamic figures in Indonesia. Whatever the cause, the negative impact was felt by Al-Zaitun because the authority confiscated hundreds of billions of rupiah of its fund, which have been used as capital for its educational services and businesses to nurture. The case currently being tested in the court, both at the pre-trial and judicial level. However, it is believed that the government will consider the positive contribution of Al-Zaitun in educating youth and mentoring effort for the success of the agenda. Finally, we appeal to the United Nations Secretary General and the Director General of the United Nations Human Rights Commission to consider in recommending the government of Indonesia to looking for the best way out for the sake of smooth implementation of education, which is a fundamental human rights for all, and the 2030 Agenda effort by Zaitun. Last but not least, we really have the President Joko Widodo and President-elect General Haji Prabowo Subianto are willing to consider the best policy regardless of the result of the trial in court. So the fund that a temporary cease will be returned to Yayasan Pendidikan, Yayasan Pesantren Indonesia, Zaitun. I thank you very much. Salam Aleichem.